Alright, since I've been back, I know the videos have been few and far between, but I am actively trying to sell as much of my stuff as I can so I can get out of this house by the April time frame. Right now, I'm in the middle of going through a lot of my military surplus stuff that I still have left over. Back when I had a job, I actually had a side hustle going on where I was buying military surplus stuff and reselling it. And the idea was for the stuff that I would keep, I would sell the other stuff and try to make enough of a profit so that it would end up being free to me, which actually worked out in a lot of areas, and in other areas I would just make a profit on this stuff. That was kind of in the whole theme with keeping things simple and also being able to do overlanding as cheaply as possible. So some of this stuff I'm going to show you I actually did incorporate into my overlanding rig, and also I've used in other areas of my life where it ended up being a free item that was very useful for me. So since I've got a lot of it laid out behind me, it's kind of a complete mess. I figured I'd show you some of this stuff. I know some people might be interested in it. Other people would be like, why do you even have that? But keep in mind, this was stuff that I was able to buy pretty cheap in a lot of cases and make some money off of to pay for other things that I was doing. So. But a quick disclaimer before I get started, I'm not looking to sell this stuff through YouTube, so please don't ask down in the comments what this costs or what that costs. I don't really want to ship all this stuff all over the country. I'm selling this stuff through like Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, and I am selling some stuff on eBay, but overall I'm not trying to ship a lot of this stuff. This is just an informational video for fun, and that's it. If you really want to know about a particular item or something, my email is in the description. You can reach out to me that way, but like I said, this is just a for fun video. Alright, so this is what my garage looks like right now. It is quite the mess, but I had to take everything out so I can take pictures and get dimensions so that I can post this. I've actually sold quite a bit of it already. Right here are cargo nets, or the bottoms of them. This is a complete cargo net right here, which comes in the large box back there. But this here comes with the webbing used by helicopters to airlift cargo. And I've used the webbing for multiple things. I've cut that up. And then also this skid plate down here, I cut that, put grommets through it, and use it as an air and bug deflector on the top of my vehicle, which you can see in my videos. This cotton duck material is pretty much waterproof, and I use that for my hatchback tent and shelter. I also had my mom sew some together, and we've made wood covers for firewood, fire pit covers. I've even got a round cover for some tires that I have that are extra to cover them up so they're not exposed to the elements. So that stuff has come in really handy. These here, these straps are awesome. Each kit had 4 of these, and I couldn't tell you how many of these I've sold because I've probably sold 20 or 30 of these kits altogether. And each one has 4, so do the math, but these sell like hotcakes when I do sell them. I'm down to my last few, so I don't know how many more I'm going to sell. But I was getting rid of those for about $5 a piece, and those are great for wrapping around axles and then putting your winch or something else onto it and pulling them out. They're rated at 500 pounds, but the way that this stitching is and how heavy this material is, I know they can handle way more than that. I've not even had one ever fray from any recovery job that I've done for somebody else. Back here, I have a bunch of machetes. This was just a good deal. These are Colombian machetes with British steel. When I was selling these at a flea market, I had some people come up to me from Colombia, some old timers, and they would always hear the metal with their fingernail and look at them. And they'd always come back and tell me these are really good machetes. So I've been flipping those on the side as well. And I got those, originally I just bought one set to cut the kudzu near my girlfriend's place. But then I realized that I could make some money off of them, so I bought a bunch more. This is a Humvee rear view side mirror. I've bought a bunch of those just because they were cheap, and I've been flipping those. This here is an old Swedish field telephone that buttons up into this nice box here. And I had 2 of these. I'm going to sell them now, but we had them between my girlfriend's shop and her house. And we'd use these to communicate with each other on occasion. I had a telephone wire running in between the 2, and it was just a cool way to communicate rather than just call each other on our phones. And I can hear this ring when she'd make it ring, so it's kind of neat, but we've kind of got past that, and I'm selling those now. These are Chinese military dry bags, so you can tie them up, but they're nice large dry bags. I used those a couple of times, but I'm not using those anymore. These I completely forgot about. These are Swiss military water bags. And I think I just found my shower system, or at least a way to wash my hair. But because they're heavy-duty vinyl and black, I can hang these outside full of water, and they're going to get really hot. So for that reason, I have 2 of these, and I'm going to keep one of them. So I'm going to give these a shot. Maybe when it gets warm out again, I'll try using this on my vehicle and see if I can't get that to work in some way where I can at least wash my hair with that. Would be a great way to do it, since I am trying to think about a shower system. A full shower is not going to come anytime soon, so that's a good go-between, I think, right now. Oh, I've even got this is a heavy-duty steel fuel tank cover for my 99 XJ. That works on all your XJs, I think, but I'm actually selling that. I had forgot that I even had that till I got home. I bought it a long time ago, but it's just way too heavy to put on my vehicle. It's already really heavy in the rear, so I'm not going to put that on. Then over here we have, this is a Czechoslovakian ammo crate, and I've got quite a few of them, as you can see. I have stuff in all of those, so I need to go through everything, which is great that I'm doing that now, or else I'd never know what's in each of these and sell that stuff. So I'm flipping those as well. I'm going to keep a few of them just because they are so convenient. But they're really nice, unlike the American ones. These have nice brackets on the corners, nice metal hardware, handles on the sides. So I bought these because I knew that they would last, and they've done well for me. These are German ammo tubes. These are great because they've got a really nice seal on them. And they seal up real nice with this heavy-duty lid. So I bought those because I had stored some stuff in them, and I have a large one right back there. So that one actually has my rear axle shafts in it. I would take that and throw it up on the roof of my XJ and take it on trails with me in case I had any issues, but I never did, so now I just leave them home. I don't think I'm going to ever have any issues with what I do today. So that one's going to be emptied, and I'll probably end up selling that one sometime in the future. Kayaks also going at some point. Those are the boxes that I had on the roof of my vehicle, so I'm keeping those. These are great. These are 20-foot paracord lengths that have looped ends. I use these to tie up tarps, and they, that loop goes right around the top of a tent pole. So these have worked out really well for me. I carry these wherever I go. I've used them for a ton of different things. You can tie things down with them, but I think there's like 25 in this bag, and each one's 20 feet long. Those are really cool, very lightweight to carry around. Actually, I forgot my axle shaft is down there. I finally figured out what my issue is, I think, with my grinding noise. So I'm going to put up a video about that later, but that is ready to be reassembled once the parts come in. These military surplus straps are the best heavy-duty straps I have ever used. They don't bind up. They've got some corrosion on them from long-term storage, but these things are awesome. They're 10-foot length. They release super easy compared to anything else I've ever tried, and they're very heavy-duty. So I carry these around with me when I overland or go out on the trails, or I think I even have one in there as a daily. But I love those things. They're great, and I got a ton of those still yet. And then I've got all sorts of ammo boxes. This 120 millimeter box, I posted those, and they sold like wildfire. I'm down to actually I don't have any left. All of them are pending. And then I've got 81 millimeter, and then further down, got a couple of saw boxes. That's actually already sold as well, because I had somebody buy a few of those off of me. This is a tripod for a 5-gallon Jerrican. It would be turned upside down. Maybe somebody can comment as to why you have a upside down Jerrican siphoning out to something. I don't know, maybe to fuel something that just took little bits of gas at a time. But this thing I actually bought because I was going to use it when I was camping. It is all metal. There isn't any plastic on it. And then you can just hang some kind of pot from it over a campfire, and that'd be great. But it's so heavy duty that it's kind of heavy. I could just carry it for, day camping or daily camping where I only go a couple of days. But I think I'm going to end up selling that, or actually I've already got it posted. So that's got to go. I'm not going to keep that. It just doesn't make sense. Over here, these are kind of weird. I picked these up a long time ago just because I thought they were cool. But they are Chinese military surplus pop shoots. And I thought I could just hang them upside down like this at some kind of event or something. You can put stuff in it while it's hung upside down. But I never used them. It was just a novelty item. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with those. I mean, I'm going to sell them, but I have no idea what I'm going to price those at. Probably not for much. So over there, more cans with more stuff in them. And then down here, this is stuff that I actually use. So those ditty bags, which are right here, I picked up. These are, I think, British military surplus. They're kind of stiff when you first get them, but once you use them, they get quite pliable. And I use these to separate all my tools, put other things in. They are great. This here is a canvas bag. I carried 2 of these as a saddle bag on my roof rack and kept one of my tents in it, and also I kept my tent poles, kayak poles, and everything like that inside that, so that came in really handy. And this is an extra one that I think I'm going to get rid of. These grenade pouches, I've got these all over the inside of my Jeep for storage, and I've got a ton of them left over, so these I'm also getting rid of. But I've got way more than I can count of those things. These are kind of cool because these I think are also British military, but it's still got the optics manual inside of it. So this was a optics holder, and they're great large pouches. I think I've even got 1 or 2 in my Jeep, so that's why I have these. But great heavy duty pouches that I'm also getting rid of. So I think that's pretty much it. Oh, I do have a couple of other interesting things. One is I've got these ammo link belts. I had picked these up for cheap, and the funny thing about these is I sold about 10 of these packages to somebody in Australia, and he came back and asked me if I had any more. So I've got 10 more left, I think about, and these are all going to Australia once he gets back in touch with me. So those are sitting in boxes waiting to be packaged to be sent out. And then in this box is Humvee seat belts and a complete kit for the installation of those seat belts. And then back there, I think that's an MRAP side view mirror or a Humvee side view mirror for the hood. I have a few of those that I need to get rid of. And then that there is a really nice Plano, it's not Plano, but Plano type military surplus box. That was actually used by medics, and it had a bunch of medical equipment in it. It's got the air pressure valve on it, airtight, watertight seal. So that I had actually carried around on top of the Jeep for a few trips. Worked out really well, but it's just too heavy compared to those boxes. Even though those aren't air and watertight, they're just a lot lighter, so, and a lot easier to get into than going around. I don't know, I think that thing has 10 hinges on it that you have to unhinge before you can get inside. But that pretty much covers everything. I've got other odds and ends here and there, but for the most part, that is everything that I'm going through right now. But even little things that I picked up along the way, like this little seat that came out of a military vehicle, I picked that up. That was new, and I use that to kneel on when I'm working on the Jeep. That comes in great. I put magnets on the back of it, and it stays either on the side of my toolbox or right there on the top. Doesn't move anywhere. So just coming up with different things here and there to make my life easier or to use while I'm overlanding. So that is just one of the things that I've been working on. Not only selling stuff out here, but I've been selling stuff inside the house, anywhere from, you know, just things for a couple of dollars to $20, $40, $80 a piece. I haven't found a part-time or full-time job yet. I had a couple of ideas of what I wanted to apply for, but with everything that I've been selling, I've managed to stay afloat. So I've got next month's mortgage and expenses mostly paid for, with a few more sales that I'm going to be making. And then after I get my tax refund, or know what my tax refund is going to be, I can then decide on what my next step is and what I need to do before the April-May time frame in order to have enough money to get on the road and do a couple of trips before my Nova Scotia trip, and then my trip to take before I go back to the sugar beet harvest. So I'm actually going to get my other channel up and running into the unknown again, and I've figured out what I want to do with that. For anybody that's interested in this journey, as far as what I'm doing, what I'm thinking, not Jeep related, not adventure related, but just me talking through how am I going to get to where I want to be in life, which is enjoying it more than working, and finding that happy medium where I can live on just the basics. So for anybody that's interested in that, I will post another video maybe later telling you when I upload that first video. But that's what I'm going to do with that. So for those that are interested in how are you doing this, I can kind of explain that in detail without boring the heck out of everybody else who is just interested in overlanding and being out on the road and things of that nature, which this channel is going to take a little bit of time to get into. Other than some camping trips that I've got coming up with some friends, there's not going to be a whole lot of overlanding. I'm sorry, I've got to get my life in order, and I got to figure out how I'm going to do this as a lifestyle. So that's the plan. But thank you for watching. Leave your comments below and hit the like button or dislike button. Talk to you later.